Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Parry here again with another grammar workshop. This week we're going to be looking at adverbs and adverbials again. So it's going to be a revisit on adverbs and adverbials. If you remember, we looked at adverbs and adverbials in our previous unit. It was our narrative unit, Treasure Hunt. We're going to be revising some of those ideas, some of that knowledge about adverbs and adverbials, but we're going to be doing it this time within the biography genre. So we're going to be looking at it within the context of your Ernest Shackleton text and within the context of writing a biography. So some of this will be a repeat, so that will give you a chance just to revise your understanding. So don't worry if the first few slides are the same as in the previous unit, in the previous PowerPoint that we did on adverbs and adverbials. Don't go thinking that it's you're doing the wrong video and you've already done this one. It will change after the first few slides and start relating it to biography. Okay, in a moment I'm going to pop into the right hand corner of your screen and I will talk you through the PowerPoint. Okay, adverbs and adverbials. Just a reminder that adverbs add more information about the verb. It's within the word adverb. We have adverbs of time, place, manner, quantity, possibility, and reason. So, adverbials of time and adverbs of time, they tell us when. Place, that tells us where the action happened. Manner, that tells us how the action happened. Quantity is the amount or the degree to which the action happened. Possibility is about the likelihood of the action happening, and reason tells us why the action happened. An adverb, we call it an adverb when it is a single word, and we call it an adverbial when it's any group of words that acts as an adverb within the sentence. Adverbial position, just a reminder that adverbs can be moved around within the sentence to create a different effect for your writing. So adverbials can be placed in different positions in the sentence. In the first example, without making a sound, that's the adverbial. It's an adverbial of manner, telling you how the main clause happened. She hurried along the path is your main clause. Hurried is your verb. The adverbial is telling us how she hurried. It's in the first position in the sentence here, so it needs a comma after it. So without making a sound here is a fronted adverbial, and it's followed by the main clause. Can you see now it's being swapped? The main clause is now in the first position, and without making a sound, the adverbial has been moved after the main clause. So it's in the second position in the sentence. Because it's in the second position in the sentence after the main clause, it doesn't need a comma separating it from the main clause. Moving on. Can you remember that adverbials and adverbs can also split the main clause? So let's look at the main clause again. She hurried along the path. Without making a sound. So now she hurried without making a sound along the path. It needs to be coupled by commas when it splits the main clause. I don't think it sounds so good in the middle position, splitting the main clause. She hurried without making a sound along the path, but it is possible. You need to weigh up and decide as a writer whether you prefer your adverbial in the first position, in the second position, or splitting the main clause. and that's usually how it sounds within the sentence. You can actually play around with moving it within your sentence and see which one you think sounds best. Don't forget that when the adverbial splits the main clause, it has to be coupled by commas. Right, ready for the next activity. Draw a table in your book, ready for the activity on the next slide. I actually made a mistake here, which I'd like you to change. I'd like you to draw a table with the column headers of time, place, manner, and instead of quantity, I want you to write reason. So time, place, manner, and reason. There aren't any quantity adverbials in this text, so I made a mistake. Okay, so if you can just change that, stop the video now, draw the lines down your page to create the columns of the tables, and write the headings time, place, manner, and reason. Off you go. Okay, these are the adverbs and the adverbials in the text Ernest Shackleton. Don't forget it's a biography text, and a biography is when it is writing about somebody's life. Your job is to decide if they are adverbials of time, place, manner, or reason. Okay, so read through these examples and see if you can find at least 3 of each type and write them into your table. If you'd like to sort all of them out and put them in the correct columns, that's absolutely fantastic. But make sure you do at least 3. Okay, stop the video now. Off you go. Let's have a look at the answers. See if you got them right. You might not have done all of them. That doesn't matter. If you have, that's fantastic. Okay, let's look first at adverbials of time. In his early life. From an early age. Don't forget all of these are telling us when something happened. By the age of 18. 6 years later. During his second expedition. In December 1914. In January 1915, a lot of them contain dates, don't they? After the ship sank, in April 1916, in late 1921. Did you get them right? Let's have a look now at the place adverbs and adverbials. These are the ones that tell us where something happened. In County Kildare, in Ireland, anywhere in the world, at the latitude of 88 degrees south, on the floating ice, successfully, always restless, unsurprisingly, with Will Scott and one other, so these are all manner, in extremely difficult circumstances, sadly, astonishingly, posthumously, that's one of our vocabulary words, isn't it? Meaning after someone has died, dying a hero. So those are the place, the ones that tell us where, and the manner, adverbs and adverbials that tell us how. Then we have the reason adverbials, and these tell us the reason why. So we have on medical grounds, devoted to leaving a legacy, and the one that begins inspired. Okay, so did you get them all right? Okay, if you didn't, then maybe make those corrections. Okay, let's move on. Just a reminder now about fronted adverbials. Once again, Adverbials that go at the beginning of a sentence are called fronted adverbials. Find and copy the 5 that are in the paragraphs below. So here are 2 paragraphs from the text. Have a go at reading it and seeing if you can find and copy into your books the 5 examples of fronted adverbials. Don't forget, they need to be at the beginning of the sentence and they must be adverbial clauses. Okay, so stop the video now, read the text, see if you can find those 5 fronted adverbials and write them neatly into your books. Off you go. Let's have a look now at the answers. The first one, did you spot it? It's devoted to creating a legacy. It's an adverbial of manner. The second example is inspired by the challenge. Again, an adverbial of manner. The third example is in the second paragraph and it's in December 1914. Can you spot which type that is? That's right. It's an adverbial of time. Very easy when it's a date, isn't it, for you to spot those adverbials of time. Oh, look, there's another one. In January 1915, another adverbial of time. And the next one is after the ship sank later that year. After the ship sank later that year, that's also an adverbial of time because it tells us when he embarked on his heroic escape. Did you get them right? Let's move on. Using adverbials when writing biographies. This is our last slide, and this is just getting you to think about how and what types of adverbials you can use within biographical writing. Adverbials of time. Time works well in biography as it tells the reader when the events happened in the person's life. This includes lots of the examples that have a date at the beginning, like in early 1915, that type of thing. Manner works well in biography as it tells the reader how the event or the action happened. Place works well in biography as it tells the reader where the events occurred. So you might like to have a go when you're writing your biography of including specifically thinking about adverbials of time, manner, and place. As we know from the previous text that we've looked at, the Ernest Shackleton text, there were 3 examples that used reason, that explained why as the adverbial, but they are less common. So when you're writing yours, think primarily about using adverbials of time, manner, and place. Okay, so that's the PowerPoint on adverbs and adverbials, linked specifically to the context of biography and biographical writing. I hope the examples were nice and clear. I hope you were able to do the activities and that you got most of it right. If you didn't, you can always revisit watching this video in your own time at a later date. Remember, you can always look at it on YouTube and find it there. Bye for now. See you soon with our next grammar workshop. Bye.